It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Treydonte Hill, who is a former XFL player and now a fan-controlled player. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. What about yourself?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to play professional football?
I probably always known I wanted to play professional football since I was a little boy. Ever since I can remember, about 4 or 5 years old, maybe. I would put on leg weights and run hills and set up drills and things to do just to get myself better. I've been that way since a kid. My granddad used to tell me all the time about how my dad was and how good he was. So it just inspired me to join the sport. And after I scored like my first or second touchdown, I kind of just fell in love with the game.
Can you talk about your collegiate experience and what you accomplished while playing college football?
I accomplished a multitude of things. My freshman year, I was all conference as a true freshman in junior college, Orange Coast College. And my sophomore year, I won a championship, number 1 in California, number 2 nationally with Mount Sac Junior College. My junior year, with Western New Mexico, 7 games, I put up 7 touchdowns. So I probably would have been All-American had I stayed there. And then my senior year, I finished all conference with Tabor, where I just played 5 games at the end of the season to finish off my college career. College was a very great experience for me. It helped me establish a manhood and a thinking process that helped me further myself and boost myself in my my professional career. So I think college was something that was very needed, and the process that I went through college was very needed for me to get to where I am now.
What was the transition like from going, you said 3 colleges you attended while playing? What was that transition like instead of just staying at one college for 4 years?
One thing is like you got to prove yourself every time you move. It doesn't matter if they want you there, if they brought you there or not. From Orange Coast to Mount Sac, it was crazy because Orange Coast was more laid back. They just had a bunch of playmakers and a good offensive coordinator and Coach Kamano. But Mount Sac was a different breed. It was like a D1. I remember the UCLA coach came to us one time and was watching our practice, and he was telling us, like, as a JUCO, we look better than a Division I. He think we would go out there and whoop those guys' butts when it was like 2014. You know what I'm saying? So from Orange Coast to Mount Sac, it was like Division I. It prepared you for everything. We ran multiple offenses. So our quarterback was under the center, shotgun, pistol. We ran 3, 4, 2 tights, wide receivers, you know what I'm saying? So, and then to Western New Mexico, it was from Mount Sac to every other college from here on was a breeze. Mount Sac really prepared me for the life of a professional, and just for everything that I went through college, I already had the knowledge that Mount Sac gave me. So it was easy to become accustomed to the plays and playbook and the speed of the game.
What was the transition like from going from college to the XFL instead of going NFL route?
College to XFL was very different. When you get to a professional setting, it's kind of different from college, because college, you've been with people all day chilling, laughing with your boys, school, this, that, the third. And you kind of get to work and maintain a way. For me, it was more so different because I came from a small school and I was really a nobody. So like it was earning a name. Anything that I did, a good catch or anything, wasn't really a good catch in the beginning, you know, until you start really getting out there and start running routes and start making your moves. It take a little second to get accustomed in a league compared to college, because you're really worried about well, am I doing what the coach says is right, you know, because now it's a paycheck and you get cut instead of, you know, get scolded by your coach. So a good wake up call for me as far as professional goes. It made me always take things serious.
Can you talk about your time with the Los Angeles Wildcats?
My time with the LA Wildcats was amazing. Shout out Coach Moss, man. He found me through the first camp in LA in early July, late June, early July, and he kind of just rocked with me the whole way. He believed in me from the beginning. He seen me run fast. He seen me catch the passes, and he seen me run the routes. The Wildcats treated me great with open arms. I don't think they treated anybody there. Just a humbling experience. It was a experience where I got to meet many pros, NFL players, and pretty much get their stamp of approval on my own game. So I think that kind of heightened my confidence too, because they let me know that I belonged in a bigger and better league, and they just believed in me, and it kind of boosted my confidence a lot. So I love the XFL for the love of football, so.
What was the typical game day like in the XFL with the Los Angeles Wildcat?
So I got to go through pregame one time before I got sent to the practice squad, and it was great. The atmosphere was so serious. It's different from a practice. People come in with their headphones on. People really come in locked in, sitting in their lockers. You might see some fools hitting their heads on the lockers. You know what I'm saying? People in there jumping around, singing. The coaches are in their formal attire. It's really they pull you to the side and tell you what you got to work on individually instead of a group more so now. And you're really locked in. It's really a different presence. It's like if you were in church and the Holy Ghost is called one person, it's like the Holy Ghost is called everybody in the room, So like it's pretty exciting. And then to go down there with the cameras, ESPN and all that different stuff, just running around all up in your face, zooming the camera on you, it's a crazy experience because I didn't go to a big Division I. And then the players, the game speed was much faster. It was crazy. I was still able to move around fast and get open. So that was an exciting feeling for me to know that everything that I do in practice, I could do in a game. So it was pretty fun.
Do you foresee yourself in 2022, whenever Dwayne Rott brings back the XFL, do you see yourself going back to the Los Angeles Wildcats or any team in the XFL?
I very much so hope to call The Rock my boss. That's pretty cool to be working for Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I watched him a lot growing up in WWE, and just the things that he facilitates with movies, sports, just all type of entertainment, the entertainment business. I think it would be an honor to work under him, and I do see myself getting back there. I think also the SCF has helped me out and buzzed my name a little bit to propel me to such a league and get an opportunity for that again next year for sure.
Speaking about the FCS, can you talk about, of course, your playing time with the FCS?
The FCF was amazing. I started off in camp. I was going crazy. I was balling. I was going hard. Going into the first two games. I love the FCF. It taught me how to better route running and better catching. Week in and week out, we did 70 yards. We probably caught 300, 400 passes a day almost. And if I'm not exaggerating, 250. We probably caught 250 easily each receiver every day, just not exaggerating. And the things they taught me to just get off the line and hone my skills in route running, and then with in game, it taught me a lot. It humbled me. I had not been drafted for 2 weeks and didn't get put on the team for 2 weeks. So it was also a humbling process. It was something that I had to go through, and I filled up from within. I had to stand up for myself and that type of deal. But they've always treated me good, and they welcome me with open arms at all times. So the FCF process was just, it was a blessing. It was a lesson, and it has propelled me to where I will be moving on next.
Can you talk about, of course, the game day? And I know that in the FCS, fans control like the plays. How is that on the player's side?
The fans controlling the plays. The stuff that you work on throughout the week, all the plays that you make throughout the week, the stuff is pretty much on the fly football. So sometimes the plays aren't charted up right, like we run them and they're called in wrong, So it's kind of on the go lead. You got a lot of options within your routes. It's pretty much you should never be covered, and whatever the quarterback option makes, he should never be wrong. That's the kind of football league it is.
Can you talk about from a player stance how, of course, with the XFL, NFL, and fan control football, what the big difference is between that?
I feel like the fan control football is more for the personal player. Of course, it's for the league and the team, but they give a lot of notoriety to each personal player that comes out and does his thing or comes in with some type of anything surrounding his name. They take it and they try to manifest it and make it something that people will recognize and know, and they kind of share your story along with it. So I think fan control is more so for the personal player to propel them. So the XFL is supposed to be merging, so I'm pretty sure they probably have some of the same ideologies. And the NFL is the business. The NFL is the business. It's where the best come to compete. It's where the best come to play. Some might not think they're the best, but then again, their stats live up to their name week in and week out. So it's definitely a business, and it's something that I believe every football player strives to get into. If you play the game, you want to be the best, and that's something that I want to do. I want to be the best. So the NFL is the top tier.
Who are some of the teams that you played in the fan-controlled football league?
The first teams I was drafted to was the Glacier Boys. Shout out Destroying, Quavo, gleefully, yeah. And the second team I was drafted to was the Beast, Beast Mode Beatdown. I talked to Marshawn Lynch after the first game. Shout out Marshawn, man, cool dude. Renee Montgomery as well, showing out for the women activists. And I was drafted to finally the Zappers, team I really wanted to play for. Bob Menery, Logan Marshall, and Johnny Manziel. I got to play for all three teams, and being drafted and being picked up and put on teams was something that I think every kid should be able to experience if they don't get drafted in the NFL, and you can get drafted in the FCF. It's not like the NFL, but it's very much an experience and something to add to your resume as far as being drafted.
Can you talk about, of course, the process and the day that you got drafted to all three and what was going through your mind?
The first day we had the first draft was crazy because we had one-on-ones for the first time, and we went through a hard day of practice and a hard week of practice, and we didn't really know what to expect. And then I got into the one-on-ones, and I didn't do as great as I should have in the one-on-ones because I don't think I, as sad as it is to say, took it as serious as I should, because everything was such a work in progress, and we didn't really understand what was going on as a league and as players. So we were just going by ear. And fortunately, I still had enough steam behind my name, and I did what I was supposed to and got drafted by the Glacier Boys. And that was such a fun experience. The Glacier Boy community, I still have a bunch of Glacier Boy fans that really want me to be in the Glacier Boys uniform till this day. So the Glacier Boy community was just a great community. I love talking to the Glacier Boys in Discord. They always show love. And the Beast community was great too. All the teams were great, but the Beast, they had Quentin Flowers, and they were real strong behind Quentin, So I love the Beast, and I love what they brought to the table and the moves they made. But the Zappers, I just felt like it's a flash thing, man. I should have been with the Zappers from the beginning. So I love the Zappers, and the fan base and community. They was rocking with me even before I came to the fan control league. So that's what it kind of was like. Being drafted by them was pretty exciting. And a regular draft day, like I said, we wake up, we eat breakfast, we go over film, we go to practice, we leave from practice, eat lunch. Then we load up, we go to the center, we run one-on-ones, and then right after the one-on-ones, about 15 to 20 minutes later, the draft starts. And we go through the whole draft process. And then the night ends, we go back, have dinner, and then everybody gets into bed, wake up, and go to practice tomorrow. So if I was explaining what a day in the life of a draft player was like.
Of course, are you talking about, do they draft you every night or is it every year?
They draft you every Wednesday each week. Every time you have one-on-one, you have a draft.
So you could be with multiple teams when you finish your career out?
Yes, sir. You could be with multiple teams or you could get franchise tagged.
How was that like, of course, knowing that you would go to multiple teams when if you were in the NFL or XFL, that team has full rights of you?
Far as being on multiple teams, it's kind of hard to work on timing with quarterbacks and get things down with the quarterback when you have to go to multiple teams. As far as the XFL, I really enjoyed being on one team. You really get to build time and chemistry and a brotherhood. I think the brotherhood and the chemistry is built more so on the field than off the field, because everybody can have fun and be a goofball off the field, you know. But being on one team and really getting to know the ins and outs of a player and earning the player's respect and things like that, that comes with the culture of football, I think. And that's something that's very important.
What advice would you give upcoming future professional athletes looking to play professional football?
The advice I would give them is gain and maintain as much support as you can. The support is what's really going to propel you. You can work as hard as you want and you can go as hard as you want, but without the support and background of family or whoever the person that is uplifting you, you kind of amount to nothing. You get a lucky shot, you know. So hold on to that support as much as they can and continue to grind and work hard. As long as they got that support and put their head down and go hard, then they can make it wherever they believe they can.
That's wonderful advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
On Instagram, you can find me at official T_Hill. And on Twitter, you can find me at the life of T_Hill.
Thank you again, Treydonte Hill, for your interview, and best of luck in your future, wherever it may hold in the XFL or fan engagement.
Thank you, man. Flash that. And it's always power to the fans and for the love of football. Under the mask, the fastest thing you know. Keep tapping in.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Treydonte, for your interview, and best of luck.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.